There are 7 categories of ideal funders for your non-profit organization. When I say ideal funders, I mean the people, businesses, organizations, grantors, foundations, government agencies that have the capacity, the affinity, and the propensity to give to a mission or a cause like yours. Your job is to identify who these people, businesses, and organizations are and go after them with all you've got. Because that's the foundation of a successful and sustainable fundraising outreach. You may have reached out to a number of people in the past, a number of organizations and brands with a hope to raise money. And the sad reality you may have gotten is some do not even respond to your outreach. Some do not even acknowledge you reaching out, and when they acknowledge you reaching out, you are most likely getting a no and a no and a no. And some other time you feel like you're in the place where you're begging, you're basically going out of your way to over explain to get them to give. That's because you haven't identified who your ideal funders are. And if you don't identify who they are, you're going to keep struggling. There are people with already established reason to see your organization succeed and thrive. There are people who are already aligned with your mission that will go the length to see your mission succeed. Your job is to identify these people and begin to reach out to them. Not just reaching out to them with your hands out, you have to reach out to them systematically, strategically, in a way that gets them to say yes or to give to your mission. So for today, I'm going to be talking about one of the ways to identify your ideal funders. Like I said at the beginning, we have 7 categories that we researched on to help you identify your ideal funders. And one of those categories is what we call the benefits category. And when we talk about the benefits category, we're talking about the people, the businesses, the organizations, the grantors that benefit directly or indirectly from the mission your organization works on or from the cause that you're passionate about. Whether you don't know it or you know it, there are people who directly benefit from the work you do. And I know that may be surprising to some of you. It was to me at first. Because when we're within the nonprofit space, we think our work is just all about impact, and the people who benefit are just those we impact. But the truth is, there are a larger network of people who benefit just because of those who you impact, or based on your mission or the work you do. And when you are very systematic about it, when you research deeply, you can be able to find these people. Now, let me give you a good example. Let me bring this to reality to you. If you run a non-profit that empower other non-profit founders, these non-profit founders you're empowering or impacting, right? Because I do run one, are a direct benefactor of your mission. And in most cases, these founders have the resources to be able to fund your mission. It could be you collecting a membership fee. It could be you collecting fees for trainings. It could be you, getting them to register with a fee, right? But they are a direct benefactor of your mission, and it's very easy to convince them to give, especially if they have the capacity of which the group of non-profit founders usually have. Another example would be an organization that empowers homeless people. Now, these homeless people may not be your they are your direct benefactor, but they don't have the capacity to give. So they may not be those who you have to raise money from. But by empowering homeless people, there are other people out there who benefit from that singular act of empowering these homeless people. One, the family members of homeless people. When you empower these people, you create a more stable family for them. They no longer have to worry about their loved one in the street. So these people are a benefactor of the mission, even though not directly. Another benefactor of such a mission are the real estate agents these homeless people have to go to, right, when they want to get homes. So you see, by empowering these homeless people, you're also empowering the businesses of these real estate agents, because now they now have clients who come to them to get homes. That's another indirect benefactor. Now let's talk about the real estate companies across the community and across the state that these people have to go to get homes. These are also another indirect benefactor. Or the home decor stores, right, that they have to go buy home decorations to beautify their homes once they leave the street. They are also an indirect benefactor. Or you could even go further, talk about the housing division, right, within the county. The housing council, right, these people, it's their work to be able to provide homes for those within the community, within the county. And you empowering these homeless people is like you supporting the very work that they do. If they have any sort of funding or any sort of support they can provide you, they will do it, because that falls within the caveat of their mission. So this is how you are able to identify not just the direct benefactors, but also indirect benefactors. For organizations that empower children, you think you may just be empowering the children, but the parents are really the ones who are getting the direct benefit of that work you do. All the schools that these kids go to, they are the ones who benefit directly from the work you do, because the teachers no longer have to deal with stubborn children because they've been empowered, or the teachers no longer have to stress over teaching them because they've been empowered. So you see, teachers, the schools, the parents, these are really the benefactor. And if you don't understand this core concept, you're going to be reaching out to the wrong people consistently, because you need to be working with these benefactors. You need to invite them in for partnership, because you all have a common goal and there is direct benefit to both themselves, the people you serve, and also your organization. And that's what partnership is all about. So instead of begging people, instead of trying to convince people, your job is to be able to identify the benefactors, both direct and indirect benefactors, and invite them in for a partnership strategically. That's how you raise 6 to 7 figures over the next 12 months. That's how you transform your fundraising outreach, your fundraising approach, and you become an organization that is strongly built, because you have partners who are working with you from across every area to be able to ensure the mission and the vision of the organization is achieved. Of course, there are other categories. Benefactors are just one category. We have the people giving history. We have people who look good by associating with your mission. And the list goes on. But about 7 of them, by the time you research each of these categories, you're going to now find people, businesses, organizations, grantors, government agencies that are your ideal funders, that have a reason to give to your organization. And all you have to do is just to tap into those reasons, and you can begin to bring in long-term partners, long-term funders, and unlock transformational funding for your organization. If you're struggling with fundraising, if you're struggling with transforming your organization, I'll tell you this: it is possible to raise 6 to 7 figures over the next 12 months. But it's going to depend on the foundation you build out of. And the very first foundation is identifying who your ideal funders are, and then going on to engage them systematically and strategically. I'll see you in the next video.